From the other side of the Footlights, here is WHRO FM critic M.D. Ridge.
Why were the ODU libraries celebrating a composer's memory with a concert called The Lighter Side of Allan Blank? And who was Allan Blank anyhow? Born in New York, Allan Blank was first violinist, later a highly regarded composer of serious music requested by performers around the world. He died in November 2013, having retired after long service teaching composition at Virginia Commonwealth University. Recently, the Allan and Margot Blank Foundation provided a generous endowment to the Old Dominion University libraries, hence the February 4th concert at the Chandler. It featured performances by ODU music faculty and students under the direction of Dr. Andrei Kasparov. The special guest was Elizabeth Medeiros Hogue, librarian of the ODU Library's Instruction and Music Collections, who just happens to be a superb dramatic coloratura. The program began with Blank's 1989 work Suite of Bagatelles for keyboard or harpsichord, played by the superb Oksana Lusishin. The 9 bagatelles, the word means a short, light piece of verse or music, ranged in texture from staccato to rippling, with crossed hands, scurrying, delicate, almost Japanese, to slower and more dramatic. Flutist Patty Waters, violinist Paul Kim, and Lusishin brought out the interesting variations of trio for flute, violin, and harpsichord. The final movement was as if the music itself had decided to go off in disparate directions, then come back together for a cheerful ending. Lusishin on piano joined contralto Kelly Montgomery for 2 songs, Parable for voice and piano, whose text was from a Richard Wilbur poem about Don Quixote, and Blank's setting of a Willa Cather poem about a man of the Old West who sang to his mandolin. Patty Waters brought to life Blank's 2000 work, Ariel, 4 sketches for solo piccolo with a subtle churr on the first movement to fly. To Swim brought images of peacefully drifting downstream amid swirling eddies. To dive into the fire-evoked firewalking, and to ride the curled clouds was like being in an airplane, seeing shoals of clouds below. Gorgeous. Funnies and poems featured Elizabeth Hogue as the slyly humorous narrator in a Derby Day black hat, with Kasparov on piano, having great fun with poems by Ogden Nash, E. Cummings, Edward Lear, and Margot and Allan Blank. Note that the narrator has to be a musician, and a good one, to deal with the sudden changes in mood and tempo. 4 bagatelles for oboe and clarinet in A, written in 2009, were ably played by Andrew Leopold and Kevin Clausen. The clarinet's rich, low range contrasted nicely with bright oboe. Hogue reappeared with Kasparov for Vicissitudes, 5 songs for voice and piano. Billy Collins' witty sonnet deconstructed a sonnet while celebrating it. The desolate setting of Jane Kenyon's The Pair didn't exactly fit with the lighter side concept. Frolicking gave an onomatopoetic feel to Margot Blank's poem before the bitter-sweet memories and bleak present of the setting of Edna St. Vincent Millay's poem, What Lips My Lips Have Kissed. The dramatic Playtime for Flute and Piano brought Kasparov together with Hyoram Kim's flute. 3 songs setting different poets were sung by tenor Brian Nedvin. Hausman's When I Was 1 and 20 was melodic and suited the text, while Hilda White's Valerie was an odd text with unusual leaps in the music. The final work, American Folio for 4-part chorus of mixed voices with piano, was directed by Nancy Klein, with Bobby Kessler-Corlento on piano and student Jason Mraz on percussion. It featured a Memorial Day parade, beginning with Hail Columbia and moving through an assortment of texts. Diogenes had a great choral sound. A lovely trio sang Plato's Advice. The high tenor on Lullaby was light and lovely. Kudos to Jason Mraz. For the reprise of Hail Columbia, the chorus members were singing about the blessings of peace and waving American flags. What fun! From the other side of the Footlights, I'm M.D. Ridge.